everyone. I'm Adrian Bell, and my colleagues joining me today.
Hi, I'm Helen Killick.
So today we want to showcase the database that we've put online as part of the project. It was a big part of the project is to gather information about the people of 1381. So Helen, I mean, show us the database. We're going to demonstrate the database. Hopefully you can see that. What sorts of things can we use the database to find out, Helen?
Well, first of all, just to say, kind of how novel and exciting this resource is, because it's the first time that almost all the sources relating to the ordinary people caught up in the revolt has been gathered together in one place. So to give you an idea of its scope, it's got over 2,000 incidents in it and over 20,000 person entries. So there's kind of plenty to explore. And there are several ways that you can do this. So if you're interested in a specific person, you can browse lists of people by surname, and just to sort of point out that we're using the original spellings of the surname, so you have to be kind of careful there. As you can see, you've got kind of a few different spellings of the same surname relating to the same person. And the other way you can look for people is you can use the keyword search, which I will show you now. And the way you do this is that you select the participants table, and then I'm going to show you an example of a guy called William Chippenham, who was a brewer from Chelmsford in Essex. And as you can see, if you put in his name, which happens to be spelt that way in our sources, but if you weren't sure, you could use wildcards. So you could put in, kind of wildcard like that and find him that way as well. And you can see we get 4 entries. And if I click on one of these, then it gives you an overview of the incidents in which he was involved. So he was involved in various attacks in Essex and Middlesex involving burning of documents and burning of houses of kind of various notable people. And if I scroll a bit further down, we also have some biographical information, which is mostly drawn from sources in the manorial records. So you can see that he was at various points fined for committing offences on the manor. He received grants of land. He's a brewer, so he was fined for offences relating to brewing. And also he was a chief pledge on occasion, so he was one of the officials in the manorial court. So it tells you quite a lot about the person, and you can see we've got lots and lots of information there.
So Helen, this is someone who then is a rebel. We call it a rebel during the revolt, but clearly has evidence that he lives on following that.
So when's you can see that the last record we've got relating to him is in 1389. So he he wasn't executed. I don't think he received a pardon, as far as I'm aware. We haven't got evidence of it there. So nothing too terrible happened to him. He carried on living on his manor and presumably brewing. Yeah. On the other way, the other things you might be interested in is particular places. So again, there's a couple of ways that you can do this. So you can look at A to Z of locations, which it can be it's ordered alphabetically either by modern county or by historic county up here. And if you click on a letter, then it will give you an alphabetical list of places, and then these links take you to people who come from these places, and then also we've got things that happen there as well. So that's quite a nice way to kind of browse if you're interested in a particular place. But also you can hang on, that's one. Okay, you can do it through the keyword search in a similar way to what I showed you before with William Chippenham. So say I was interested in St Albans, you can search in both the participants and incidents table, and that will get you, as you can see, you get 3 pages of results there. You get 134 results, and it shows you people from St Albans, and it also shows you things that happened in St Albans. So that's maybe a bit overwhelming. So it's probably a good idea to split these searches up. So if I just search the incidents table, we've got 41 incidents. And here, you've got a summary of each of these. And if I click on one of them, it will give you an overview of what happened. So this was an attack on the property of Richard Scrivain in St Albans, and he got lots of crops stolen. It looks like they stole his beans and peas and things. And you can see the name of the victims and of the loads and loads of people who were accused of taking part. In this case, he had a big gang of people. And then also, if you click on the source, this is the really impressive bit, is you can see we've got a full Latin transcript and translation, and also a picture of the source itself. So, we go all the way back to the original document. And if you happen to be able to read medieval Latin documents, you can check whether we've made any mistakes. And there's all the people involved there. So that's kind of nice.
And I noticed the Joanna involved there, Helen. Is that unusual? I saw at the end of the Joanna.
Yeah, I mean, we do have some women involved as rebels. I think, let's have hang on. Where was she right at the end?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so she's a servant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're in a minority, certainly. Women accused of being rebels, but they do exist, and obviously that's another interesting thing maybe that you can search for in the database if you're kind of particularly interested in that topic. And yeah, just lastly, another nice thing to show you is that we have this maps feature here. So here you can do this with people and with incidents. But if I just show you using the example of William Chippenham, like I showed you before, you can put someone's name into this box, and you can also select the role if you're only interested in people who are accused of being rebels, for instance. But in his case, if I just click search, then you have a list down here of all the attacks that he was involved in. You've got a list of other people with whom he was associated. And if I if I click this button called animation, then you can see that these dots appear on the map hopefully in some kind of chronological order. So the idea being that you should be able to plot their progress, and the purple dot shows you kind of their starting point, where they started out. So it just gives you an idea of kind of the kind of sphere of influence of different individuals and kind of how far they traveled. So that's quite nice.
Yeah, because it shows the mobility of this individual, doesn't it? Whether something happens close to his domicile, which you've got marked there, but obviously two incidents much further away.
Yeah. So as you can see, there's a lot to lot to explore, and a lot to play around with. But also we are we're interested in people's feedback, and if anyone wants to is having trouble finding particular things, then do get in touch with us.
Yeah, thanks, Helen. And as she said, do drop us a line if you find anything interesting. We do want you all to use it. Okay, thank you very much.